A significant flooding event is developing across the southeast from Friday, Saturday, and into Sunday. What we're going to see is widespread flooding for a number of areas across Victoria and southern New South Wales. There's flood watches already released for the majority of Victorian catchments, as well as some southern catchments in New South Wales, including the Ballibula River. Now, this is going to be potentially breaking some rainfall records, with 48-hour totals exceeding 100 millimeters across parts of northeast Victoria. That's where the heaviest of the rain is going to be. But overall, the rain is going to be widespread as a humid northeasterly air mass from the tropics combines with this southerly air mass coming up from the south, cooler and drier. A band of rain will develop, intensifying as it moves over the southeast inland, and ahead of it, showers and severe thunderstorms extending from the Gulf country right down into eastern New South Wales. As a low develops within that low pressure trough, more cool showers will develop across Victoria, and the trough itself looks to remain over Queensland for an extended period of time. Now, ahead of it, it is hot. In fact, it's been the hottest day since last summer for Melbourne and Adelaide on Wednesday, and we're going to have another very, very warm night ahead of us. Now, Thursday, take a look at the temperature forecast on screen. This shading indicates temperatures above 25 degrees, and that's throughout southeast South Australia, as well as the Mallee and parts of the Wimmera of Victoria. As we go another day ahead, very hot, but we get that thundery change moving through South Australia on Thursday. However, behind it, southerly winds. Those are cool winds. They come up from the Southern Ocean, but it hasn't reached anywhere around Victoria or most of Tasmania yet. So another very warm night, over 15 degrees across all of Tasmania and most of Victoria, above 20 degrees overnight Thursday and into Friday yet again. It's only when the southerly really starts to spread through that we get that cooler, drier air impacting the state. But depending on the position of the low will depend on the timing of the southerly to reach you. And now we talk about the rainfall. We are going to see a lot of it, folks, and it is going to be very widespread. We're also going to see rain, showers, and storms. So those storms ahead of the main rain band. You can see southerlies meeting with these northeasterlies. Now, as those two air masses combine, it's also supported by cold air right in the top of the atmosphere. And that is enhancing the instability and creating a lot of moisture to fall out of the atmosphere in the form of rain. So this is, as you can see on the temperature on the forecast behind me, 2 p.m. on Friday, and during the afternoon, thunderstorms start to explode just ahead of that main rain band, stretching from the interior right into the southeast. Rain will persist overnight, and then showers and storms will develop yet again on Saturday afternoon, severe. And we can tell they're going to be severe storms because of the strength of the winds in the upper atmosphere, which are strong enough to support widespread organized thunderstorms. So because of this, there's going to be a lot of variability in rainfall totals for those areas experiencing storms, because storm totals are notoriously difficult to predict. It depends on what stage of the life cycle the storm is at and how fast the storm is moving, or whether or not the storm is dropping hail, which obviously isn't falling as rain. However, with those rain band, it's easier to predict those totals. We can track how fast the rain is moving, and we can predict exactly how much is coming. Now, before we get to the total rainfall, notice the trough continues to push to the north, bringing rain across Queensland from Sunday onwards, although ahead of it, heaps of showery activity on the coastal fringe, and that rain, showers, and storms will then persist into next week. So we got a lot of rain on the way. We're calling it across the southeast, but it really is across the east as well. Now let's look at those totals. These are just the 4-day totals. So from Sunday onwards, Queensland, you're in for a soaking, although on Wednesday you've already had fairly persistent and heavy showers in those storms, widespread rain later in the week. And then look at that. This is a storm area with some rain embedded within it. But take a look at this. Now, just to put things in perspective, the December average for northeast Victoria, including places like the Albury-Wodonga region, Wangaratta, Shepparton, is between 40 to 50 millimeters of rainfall. What you're seeing over the course of 4-day forecasts here is widespread totals over 100 millimeters of rainfall. Indeed, in anticipation of this weather event, we've already had flood watches released for most catchments across Victoria. The most prone ones will be in the northeast, those Ovens and Kings Rivers, very prone to flooding, and also some parts of the southern catchments in New South Wales, areas affected, including the parts of the Ballibula River catchment. Additionally, there's also already a severe weather warning for heavy rainfall across the entire state of Victoria, developing on Thursday and into Friday. So that's a lot of advance notice given with these warnings, because many people expect this to be a very, very heavy rain event and leading to widespread flooding, particularly across Victoria and some parts of New South Wales. Now, if you don't get the rain, it's probably because you're in an area where there's storms forecast. The widespread rain, Victoria and southern New South Wales, where that darkest shading is, that's where you're guaranteed to get those heavier totals. coast. And meanwhile, in the west, we are seeing hotter conditions return as high pressure builds. It's a very different story in this part of Australia, and it's because it's dominated by high pressure rather than combining air masses. Now into this week, we're going to continue to see temperature rises across the west coast as hotter and hotter air is drawn to the south with that Pilbara trough, and daytime temperatures should exceed 30 to 35 degrees across parts of the west coast this week. Additionally, we're also expecting the first tropical cyclone of the season to impact Australian waters over the next few days. Now, there's a chance it could impact the West Australian coast around that Exmouth, Gulf Coast region north of the Carnarvon area, but it really only looks to happen after Sunday, so we got quite a bit of advance notice, and as it does move in that area, it looks to have drier, cooler air wrap around the center of that tropical low or cyclone, and that should weaken it before its landfall.